Welcome all. A couple videos I've posted if you haven't seen them. Um, it was all about Twitter basically, and talking about the state of Twitter and like what it could be, what it's possibly going to be, where I first saw it to be basically, and like some of the issues that are going on with Twitter, like as far as how Musk is treating Twitter employees, as well as what um, basically the layoffs that occurred with Twitter, as well as I guess the software flaws as well at that point too. And decoupling a lot of the services, I guess, or some of the back end services, I should say. Um, so honestly, I should say this first and foremost. I'm not looking for Twitter to fail. I've been with Twitter for I don't know since 2008, I guess. Yeah, around 2008. I haven't tweeted as much as I should. I mean, I've tweeted on quite a few things. I think I stopped tweeting on Twitter more often because the fact was um, it was noticeable, but the other factor is like my work. Whatever I tweet, um, if I was sharing my opinion, it would come back to bite me. A lot of the cases, um, specifically with my work or whoever I was working at that point in time, I would always have to be careful. And that's one of those things. I was like, this doesn't make sense. And also for any future employment as well too. If you want to do a search on me, you could search and you'll see it basically. And like I'm like, oh great. But a lot of the cases, I was tweeting a lot of technical related stuff basically at that point, which was relevant for me, but for some other people at the same time as well too, and as well as the fact that I was able to essentially um, tweet out questions that were technically related. And I'll admit, in the beginning of Twitter, I remember asking a lot of recommendations for certain applications and products. It's one of the things where I found out through Twitter before Tableau became very popular. I found out Tableau through Twitter. Basically, some people tweeted to me about it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. So I don't want to take anything away from Twitter. It's more of a case where I believe I want Twitter to succeed. To be quite honest, something that I've used in the past, something I've used used. I still don't want it to derive away from what its core was at the time. One of the things I do miss though is that openness that they had with other APIs, basically, where they opened up the API with the Firehose, basically, where you were able to read but also post from anywhere at that point as well too. Um, I remember one point whenever I would post up on YouTube, um, posting a YouTube video would automatically generate a Twitter link um, to it directly, and I think that was removed recently. I don't know why. I don't know when it was removed. Actually, sorry. Um, but it was one of those things which was pretty nice. Where when I did post up a video, it would tweet out, "Hey, new link is posted up," and then people could go from that medium onto my YouTube page at that point, or YouTube, for that YouTube video, basically, for some of the followers that were on Twitter. Quite honestly, I kind of miss that. I don't know if that feature's still there. Or actually, I would have to look around and see basically if it is. Um, and I think also at the same time, I think because the fact is at that time when they were doing it, they wanted Google that it was wanted YouTube specifically geared towards Google Plus at the time. I don't know if they'll come back or if it's a case where like Google doesn't want to pay the fees if there is a fee associated. One of the things you should know is basically I don't do a lot of fact checking. Um, I if I do a fact check, I'll let you know if it's a fact check. But in this case, this is based on memory and all that stuff, so I can't tell you what it's like right now. But again, it's one of those things where those are the stuff that it was great back then. Some people have always asked for, oh, there should be an editing feature in Twitter for your tweets. When you tweet, you want to like, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to say that. I want to revert back. Honestly, I think it's more of a. I can understand from a perspective of why you didn't want to edit it. I mean, if you did misspelling, fine. Yeah, you goofed and you want to go back and refix it. But there are cases where sometimes people will post, they'll slowly want to delete it. Um, but I think that feature should also be removed as well too. The delete feature, quite honestly. Unless the only reason I would say you want to delete is if duplicates occur, which has happened on a number of occasions for me. Um, Actually, thinking about it now, just just listening to myself say it, I think, yeah, the delete feature is still good to keep in place. Let the delete feature be there if you want to delete a tweet. Um, as far as editing, um, I think it does make sense. Why you have to pay for to edit? I don't know why you who'd want to pay for that at that point. Honestly, it's like no different from any microblogging platform. Everything else is there equivalent to that. So if you expand it, if it's already expanded out to like 280 characters, actually I don't even know what it is now. And if they plan to extend it out to 500 characters, okay, great, extend it out to 500 characters. I think the whole thing with 140 characters was because of the fact of back then for text SMS texting at that time to support SMS texting. Now no one really texts does SMS text to Twitter. You have the Twitter apps at this point, like the Twitter, for whatever smartphone you have, or feature phone for that matter as well too, or through a desktop or a laptop, whatever it may be, or tablets. So I think that's one feature I think they should increase, and they may or may not, who knows, as far as increasing um, the actual word length count, making it from 280 to maybe even more to like 500. I think 500 characters should be enough. If you want to go into like a full-on blog, then I think it's more of a case where like that's where I think Medium comes into play. Medium and Twitter should actually go hand in hand. Since I forgot the guy that who built Medium. I think he was not one of the founders, but early on founders, I guess, or early on engineers, or early on management for Twitter, um, where they should go hand in hand in that aspect, or maybe Twitter and Tumblr for that matter. I don't know. It's more of a case where like you could tweet something small, like 500 characters, and if you want to go something big, all right, fine, just have a like it's the more button basically then goes towards Medium. That would be great if they actually coordinated with each other at that point as well too. Um, or not coordinated, but more of collaborated with each other in that aspect. Same thing with YouTube. I mean, I know I don't know if uh, Twitter is planning to create a video service similar to compete with YouTube. If they do, it'd be interesting to see what would happen there. Can they do that? It'd be great. I mean, it was one of those things where I thought when they tried to buy Instagram, it failed, and then they tried working with PhotoBucket, if I remember correctly. I can't remember honestly now what it was, but I think it was PhotoBucket. They tried to incorporate a photo service within Twitter and create their own feeds of photos, and then of course buying Vine as well too. I think they were trying to incorporate that on that point as well too, but it just didn't work out. Um, the one thing that I think was a smart move on their part was buying Periscope. Periscope, because the fact is I think back then, I prior to Instagram, I think Twitter was the only one that was like allowing for live streaming, where you didn't have to have the number of users. You could just be one person and just live stream immediately right there with then and that. Whereas Facebook and I think especially YouTube, where if you didn't have X amount of subscribers, or yeah, X amount of subscribers, you cannot live stream something like that. And that was one of the nice things I liked about Twitter is you could live stream. The only problem was that when you live streamed after you were done, I think after 90 days the video was gone, or archived off, and you would never be able to. It was not viewable at that point. I guess if they could decouple that part and put it into like a sort of video stream, like video Twitter, that'd be cool as well too. The other aspect that I think Twitter should come into play was monetization with their creators basically. Um, I guess this is more of a case where like some suggestions for Twitter, since people are saying like, oh, there are problems. How do you solve some of the problems? I guess one of the big factors is basically too is like monetization. People use Twitter more of. I think everyone's using Twitter and all these other social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, to drive people into their YouTube channels, because you know you're going to get the most money out of your YouTube channels. But the way to get to people to your YouTube channels is basically you got to go to the other platforms to drive them back to to YouTube. Um, that's where if you it's and other aspects of course is being an influencer. You market the product for whatever it is on that platform, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram Reels for that matter, or Twitter for that matter. But I think that's becoming more and more a little bit fake nowadays, and like people aren't like keen onto it. Specifically, the fact is like you look at the FTX fiasco. Like people are like, oh, Kevin O'Leary and some of the Tom Brady and everyone was like, um, advertising. They were sponsor or not sponsors, but more of spokespersons for FTX, and they didn't really believe in the product. They didn't use the product. They were just getting paid to like promote it, basically. I think that's one of the things where I know if you promote something, I think it's more of a case where you're promoting it because you like the product, and that's why you won't see me wearing as many branded clothing as others would. I'll get to that too in another video for that matter. Um, but in any case, I think yeah. If there's I don't know how Twitter uh, would allow you to monetize on your tweets themselves. Honestly, if it does a redirect type of thing where you like sort of an affiliate type of thing where you tweet something and they buy something as a result, and Twitter gets a percentage of it, that would be great. Twitter gives you that percentage, yeah, but that's more of an affiliate marketing program, and that's you can eliminate Twitter itself basically. And the thing is, Twitter can't capitalize on that unless they work with some vendors to actually promote the products through Twitter via the Twitter users. I don't know. That's something to work out basically with Twitter. Basically, I think they're trying to figure that part out as well too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at that from that perspective. Because again, most of their majority of their revenue stream is of course coming from advertising, as is Facebook and such. Um, Telegram. It'd be a nice feature too, where Twitter becomes also sort of a messaging app as well too, like what it was originally meant for, open messages basically, to other people at that point, to a larger group, like what Telegram is now, where you're sending out channels and all that stuff, um, or groups for that matter. I mean, I think Twitter is was building towards that a little bit, but also building a little bit towards what Facebook was at that point as well too, in a ways, or trying to compete with them directly, which was a mistake on their part. They should have just focused a little bit more what they were, and then built on top of that ecosystem, basically. But again, I think the one thing is that the one big thing I think, which I'm hoping they do, which I'm not sure if they're doing it, but expand out on the character limits, the character limitization, and creating it, upping it to 500 characters. I think I said earlier in the video, I said 500 words. I meant 500 characters. Um, 500 characters should be enough to get your point across. In this day and age, people are more like attention. Uh, their attention span has grown smaller, and you blame TikTok and Snapchat and all these other uh, things because of the fact is people like 15 seconds. I think Vine was one of the big things that I could show you. Basically, the reason why Vine was doing so well is because it was 6 to 7 seconds. Hey, it works. TikTok, same thing. 15 seconds. I like, hey, people only want to see 15 seconds at most, because like it's like pretty much a commercial. And that's where commercials were like 15 minutes, 15 seconds to 30 seconds. You rarely ever see a commercial for a minute. Anyone sees a commercial for a minute, they're like, I'm gone, and they don't want to sit through a commercial for 1 minute, basically. And it's, I mean, if you're deriving some good content, yeah, 1 minute can make sense, but that's more of a case where if you're talking about or discussing about something, trying to prove a point for something on that nature. Nowadays, what I'm seeing on TikTok is mostly people just posting up like clips of other content and then posting it on themselves, posting it as for themselves, basically. It's great and all to promote that content, whether it be like a TV show, movie, some sports team or something like that. But at the same time, it's like you want original creators, and that's why I think TikTok is the thing. Is with TikTok though is you're seeing original creators create either through aspects of, well, basically through dances and such, all those, trying to create these sort of trends. They're trying to create, a new trend basically with dances, basically, and I could see that why they're trying to do that, because as you create more dancing trends, you become more popular. I mean, heck, even quite a number of other users who blew up on TikTok are now like driving some of their users onto YouTube to get more exclusive extended content. Um, that would be great and all, but in reality, I don't know if that's the right idea. It's more of a case of you want to create. It's I think one aspect is creating a small set of small content there, and then using YouTube as another platform to build upon that, not extend the content of what it was, but maybe I mean it could be like TikTok can be the preview, kind of the trailer, and then you have YouTube as your basis. If that's what happens, do not be surprised if TikTok, as well as YouTube, as well as Facebook, start creating a much larger, richer feature set of videos, so that people can extend videos up to like 4 hours, whatever, maybe 10 hours. I mean, one of my other accounts, YouTube accounts, I actually posted up a 10-hour video of just a Yule log because it's Christmas time. And I figured let's see what happens. Basically, if people start using it, great. If they don't, it's up to them. Basically, if they view it, hey, that's great. If you viewed the full 10 hours during Christmas time, perfect. I also have one where there's 1 hour, but it's all music with that basically at that point too. Um, Sorry, it's one of those things. I have a hard time looking at the camera. Like I said, it's one of those. I also have one of those people where I have a short attention span, so I can't focus directly on the camera. And I'm using the built-in camera on the laptop itself, basically. Um, should I get a webcam for this? Possibly, but not right now. It's like I'm just building up this channel right now. This is more of a channel for me to basically rant, vent, talk about stuff and such. Will I create any other content outside of this? I don't know, but I'm mostly doing this just to review stuff as well, too, to be quite honest. Would I be creating a podcast type of thing? Yes and no. I mean, I would love to like talk to people as well too, and like go one on one with them, and like do those live YouTube live things, basically, and like kind of create a podcast type of thing. Um, or video podcast more than anything else. That would be great. But that's more of it. But that's something where I need to be more well versed in other subject matters of that matter for from that point. Honestly, right now it's more because I think I should be. I think I should start posting some reviews on technical stuff, tech related stuff for that matter. I mean, sorry, and and maybe even software and like some methodologies as well too, especially in software engineering or data architecture and cloud infrastructure stuff. I think that might be useful down the line as well too. But if I start doing that, then my videos are going to start being more longer, probably 20 to 30 minutes long. And I know people here right now, if you've actually stayed on this video, it's been a good 17 minutes. I commend you for that. I probably would have just fast forwarded myself, to be quite honest, as well too. Unless what you're hearing, what I'm talking about is relevant and it's intriguing. Uh, that's what I'm hoping to do, basically, to make it more intriguing, or more pique your interest in the discussion matter at hand. And also, I welcome feedback too. I would love to like see your feedback or hear your see your feedback in the comments section. We could talk, critique it. I mean, honestly, if you wanna, you could send a YouTube link on in my comment section and like let me see your responses. I would love to see your responses on the YouTube, in YouTube, and I'll gladly respond back with a YouTube video back to you as well too. I mean, we can go. It could be a great sort of semi video chat, but delayed video chat more than anything else. It'd be like basically those uh, video mails. You could call it. I guess I don't know. I don't know. That's something that exists. I mean, it does exist, but like you send a video basically back and forth as a message, and then people would see it, and it's not a real time video messaging or video chatting basically. But anyways, yeah. But back to the point at hand, essentially, when it comes to Twitter. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where I don't want it to. I don't want it to die out. I want it to succeed. It's a product that I still use. Not as often. I should be tweeting a lot more out of it, but it's more of a case of like, how much more do I tweet to it? Basically, that's what it comes down to. And I should have tweeted a lot more, but the thing is, I remember I started tweeting a lot of information on Twitter, and people that were following me, people that were like colleagues of mine, basically, they were like, I can't follow you if you keep doing this. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, they were like, if you keep tweeting too many different things, there's no point in me like following you because, but I was like, but I'm tweeting relevant stuff, and they're like, Yeah, but it's too much in a day, in a time frame. I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend all my days while working tweeting. They're going to be short period bursts because I'll have free time. I'm either like if you noticed some of the times where I did tweet, if there's a long range of bursts of tweets at a specific certain time, it's probably because I was in the bathroom. I hate to be blunt and crude about it, but yes, there are times where while I'm in the bathroom, I'm looking at my phone and looking at Twitter. I'm like, all right, might as well tweet up some stuff and like reading some stories. I'm like, let me tweet about it. Um, with that, I mean, usually a lot of my videos, as I mentioned, is basically unrehearsed. There's no script. If I do start talking about certain points, as far as let's say software related stuff or tech related stuff or reviewing something, I might have some bullet points that I might have in the top of my head, but it's usually unrehearsed. It's usually everything that I talk about is like, I freebase it, off the cuff, top of my head type of stuff, basically that just comes out. I don't even think about it when I speak. I'm treating it more of a case where like as though I was doing a YouTube live streaming. I mean, that's one of the things where I think people want to see if you are discussing. Should I do some edits when I'm reviewing a product? I think when I have the time, then I think I will. But right now, it's more of a case where I'm just going to talk off the cuff. I mean, I think my next video I'll probably talk about probably the Aura Ring, since I got an Aura Ring. I think the second iteration of the Aura Ring, and some of the fit rings or fitness rings that are out there right now. Also, I forgot what I was going to say. I said I was going to talk about something else that was unrelated, or I said I was going to expand about something that I was going to talk about in this video. I completely forgot. I'm going to have to rewatch this video just to see what the expansion was, and I will post that link on the description or below for the follow-up video of what I was going to discuss about anyways. Yeah, more often than not, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I think I mentioned basically it's not a case of like bribing or incentivizing subscribers, but it's more a case of like it'd be great to get subscribers. Like I said, if it was 1 million subscribers, I do things on a dare. A lot of the cases, I like doing dares. In this situation, I want to do a dare on myself, basically, where if I do get 1 million subscribers, I'll do one of those TikTok dancing trends, basically, and I'll do it live. I'll live stream it. I'll live stream it onto YouTube Live for followers to watch. I'll probably set a date and time as well too for that too. If I get 10 million, of course, I said I'll do same thing, but I'll let the users themselves or subscribers themselves dictate where I should do it live as the location. I mean, if it's in the Vatican, it's in the Vatican. If it's in the White House, it's in the White House, and I'll try to do it in the White House if it's possible. Outside of that, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where I love feedback, comments, like or dislike. It's up to you. Subscribe. I'm not pressuring you for subscribing. And with that, here's to hoping Twitter, comes out and does really well. You know what? I think based on the fact that my discussion or my actual, I don't want to say discussion, but more of my ranting about Twitter and hoping it to not fail, I might start tweeting it some more again tomorrow. I mean, I used to tweet about mostly sports nowadays. I think I might start tweeting more about tech as well too, to be quite honest, and some related information and such. It wouldn't be on this one. There are 2 Twitter accounts that I have. It's Ansonation, ANSONSINATION, and Ansonisms, ANSONISM, I think S, or yeah, Ansonisms, just like relevant to this handle basically. I think it's Ansonism or Ansonisms. I think my Twitter handle is Ansonism. I think I don't have my phone on me. Actually, you know what? I can take a look right now and find out for you what it is exactly. So it's Ansonation is my first one which I created, and let's see, Ansonism is the other one. It's Ansonism, non-plural. And I also have another one called The Real Ansonism as well too, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one. Uh, Actually, let me. I don't know how you can do a share screen. There's too bad there's no way. I'm using OBS Studio, by the way. It would be nice if I could actually allow it to share screen in a way. So when I'm recording this, I can also record my screen and share my screen and show you what I'm doing. So that'd be great at that point as well too. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on OBS to be quite honest. Let's go to settings here on YouTube. I am on my YouTube account. My user ID, move channel to a brand account, delete channel, no. Tweet, posting. Yeah. There is no automatic way to how to share a YouTube video on Twitter. 2 simple ways. How to share YouTube. Go to the share button or copy a video URL. That's pretty much it. So that feature of like automatically when you post something, looks like that's gone. Basically, that feature is gone. Anyways, with that, I guess there's not much else I can say outside of the fact of like, until next time, welcome to my channel, unedited. Wait, no, sorry, unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed. Until next time.